Girls and guys, we are back to work after a nice holiday and we are in with a Cambelt straight away. This is the second Giulietta of the day. This one is in for the works. Cambelt, water pump, full service. We've got an INA kit from Schaeffler and man filters. So we are going to do this one. Again, you've seen me do these before. Time marks here, there. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. So you're going to need to remove coolant bottle, induction pipe. We're going to take the fuel filter out of the way because we need to replace it anyway. And then these have got the annoying oil filter that's in the arch. So let's chitty chatty and more spannering. Let's do this. All right, so we've got expansion tank out of the way, fuel filter out of the way. Swapped the sensor at the bottom with a new seal, please. New seal only. Now, then go up in the air, under tray off. Get the auxiliary belt off and all the other gubbins underneath. I am not in work mode, people. Oh, don't forget, disconnect the battery. Okay, this is why it's important, right? To just nip the wheels up with a gun and then go over with a torque wrench. So this is the Milwaukee. It's on the highest setting it can go. If you get a punch on the side of the road, you're never gonna undo that. All right, so we've got the massively over-tightened wheel off. And then I'm starting to think there's a lot of overspray, but what's gonna really pique my curiosity is, why is there 5 screws? Why is there 5 screws in there? 6. Why? That's so unnecessary. That's just, who knows where this job's gonna end up, but at this point, when I see things like that, I start to get a little concerned. So in the process of removing all of the screws to that, I'm trying to get this out, but before I do that, I've got to remove the under tray, which is already gone, which is multiple 10 mils. I can't even count, there's a lot. And then I've got to get the Torx out to remove all of this to get to the air filter, because the air filter's in there. You just need to breathe slowly when working on Alphas because the designs are just terrible. So let's just do it. We got to the air filter. Now, I don't condone this at all, but you've got to see the ridiculous logic. 18 screws hold this panel on, okay? 18 screws. Rather unnecessary if you ask me, but you know, they're there, so you've got to do them. And that's just so we can get to the air filter. There is really no other way around it. So you've got to remove the under tray and then 18 screws. So in total, I think it's about, hold on, let's work it out. So we've got 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What is the general point? This, look at it. That hasn't been changed in a while. Please have a date. 17th of the 3rd, 23, but that can't be right because that can't be a few months old. Yeah, that hasn't been changed in a very long time. We're looking, that's the difference we're looking at here. That has not been changed for a while. The good thing is, it was a man filter before, so at least someone used good parts, good quality, but yeah. I don't think that was the date because that says 22/12/12. Unless I'm reading it wrong, I'm sure someone in the comments could point me in the right direction there because that says 17/3/23. But yeah, that hasn't been changed in a while. You can see why. Like 25 plus bolts just to get to the air filter. So new air filters in, we replaced all 3 screws as well because the other ones were looking dead. Now, is that, okay, so that's ready to come out now. So let's get that out and get access. Might drain the oil and do the oil filter and have a coffee in the meantime. All right, we got the good juice flowing out. 13 mil on that, and then you're gonna need a 32 because the oil filter is there, and get ready to be cleaning it up for a while. So we'll go around the drive shaft and through the subframe and be leaking forever. I have the big bad boy 32 mil ratchet spanner. I brought it thinking I'd never actually need to use it. And then Alfa come up with the design to help me use it. What a pointless idea, but again, it's an Alfa. We just enjoy these things. So now we're nearly there. Obviously, there's been Tipex used previously, which isn't the problem. We're using the locking tools. Never seen a water pump like that on these, but is what it is. So this bolt's out, all the engine mounts out. We've just got 113 down there to remove, which I'm going to get out now. And then the engine mount is out. And then it is time to time it up. Okay, so we're timed up. I've got the timing tool in there. No need to put that in there. That's got a ring gear in it. So one timing tool will work. I'll put a little mark in here, but as the person before used Tipex, there's his mark and there's his mark. So, you know, a quarter out there. But obviously it ran fine. You can do these with Tipex, it's not a problem. But the crank, where they've done it, if you can see there, top mark, bottom mark, and the actual position should be over there. Yeah, again, the engine ran fine, no faults or anything like that. But for the cost of the timing tools only being like 20, 30 quid, you can just buy some cheap Chinesian ones, wouldn't be a problem. So it doesn't hurt to invest if you're keeping the car long term instead of just Tipex in it. But it worked, as we've seen. So now, let's get the belt off. Got to undo that nut, and then remove the idler, remove the water pump, and swap the belt. So, clean the water pump area up. That's on. I put some silicone on it because I wasn't quite happy with the gasket. It looked like it was a little bit bowed. So, that's on. Idler's on tight, tensioner's on. Everything's still lined up where it should be. Nothing's moved, which is very good. These don't need to be timed, not a problem. So now we're going to tension the belt and hope for the best. So timing tensioner, oh, there we go. Should be on the little dot point. There's a little dot just behind the arrow. So timing's on point, we're nice and tensioned. Looking for like a nice little C chord and then a boing, there you go. And then obviously we know that pulley's not moving, that one's okay. And check the crank. Yep, we're exactly where we left it. So we are happy and we are timed. Nothing has moved. It's all very good and very nice. Now I'm gonna whip this out, turn the engine around 3 times. For some reason I do it 3 times. If anyone else does it a different way, let me know in the comments. And then I'm gonna leave it there because I need to go. So I'm gonna fill it up with go-go juice just to leave it overnight to self-bleed, which is good. Maybe whack the engine mount on as well, just so it's not sitting on a jack overnight. And now I've got to remove the locks. So she's all filled up, engine mount's back on, just got to put all of this stuff back in, and then obviously lock that up. But we will finish this tomorrow. All right, another day. All the tops all finished, just putting the auxiliary belt on, all the idlers, make sure everything's tight. Just got to clean up the excess spillage. And then we're nearly ready to put all the under trays, the 50,000 bolts, and start it up. Okay, so it's all back together. Now, because we've changed the fuel filter, we need to prime the ignition a few times just to get fuel up there so it does start when the time is ready. So just keep flicking the ignition on and off, 5 seconds each time, and then hopefully it should start. Okay, so we've done the ignition a few times. Here we go. Lovely. All right, so let that run up for a bit, then torque up that wheel properly, not over tighten it. Check the oil level, we did put oil in it. Put the covers back on, then we'll take it for a road test and make sure we're all good. So taking it for a small little road test, just make sure all is well. We're currently at 90 degrees on the temp. Just waiting for that fan to kick in. Heaters are blowing nice and hot, even though for once it's a nice sunny day. Just waiting for it to kick in really. And the thermostat's open. And then we can sort the water level out. But for now, it's just gonna sit there running. Not quite done yet. I had it running for a while, it was at 90, but yet no fans were kicking in and I wasn't getting hot air inside the car. So I've opened the bleed valve, you can hear it hissing away, and just slowly bleeding it down and just getting water through the system. And then I'm gonna try again. Oh, I just missed it. Oh, it literally just went all the way down, which is nice and good. So now we're gonna tighten all the bleed screws up and run it up and make sure we've got a good temperature now. All right, nice road test. Everything is all good. Heater's blowing out hot, coolant level's all good. So this one is done. And remember, hit the like button, like and subscribe to the videos. We really do appreciate it, people. Thank you.